And now my man, he's coming from Pennsylvania, and he caught my attention on Facebook, social media. My man, you got a very original style. You are funny as hell, and you press the envelope with your humor, bro. I gotta say, man. But love the style, man. Love all the views you getting over there. Millions of views a
Oh,
month on Facebook, blowing up. So kind of fill us in, man. When did you get into junk removal, and what did you do beforehand?
spill the beans.
All right, so junk removal was completely foreign to me until 2017. I had moved to Florida with my now wife, and I was looking for a job. Now, keep in mind, I've had at this point 10 years of like really good sales experience. I did door to door for Comcast for over 3 years. So, like, I'm used to like tough sales. Well, I saw this position that was hourly plus commission. It was at the headquarters for College Hunks Hauling Junk and Moving. I went in there. There was like a room of 30 guys. They were like, "No one's gonna find out if you're hired today, bro." It's an appointment setting position. Now, like, I got the job. I crushed this job. I was literally a nobody there, but because I was so good at my job, I could do whatever I wanted. Like, I got to like talk to Nick and Omar all the time. I got to do a ride along one day. Like, it was really eye opening, and the culture was pretty cool. When I started there, like, it was so loose. Like, they did free beer Friday. The supervisors would literally bring beer around for all the people taking calls. It was like, it was cool, you know. And I watched these guys do $150 million in revenue the year I was there. And then my wife got pregnant, and
Oh,
I we ended up
well,
moving up to Pennsylvania. And like, shout out to Nick and Omar because they gave me a job through one of their sister companies. I was working for Trash Butler doing doorstep valet trash service, doing the sales for it. Okay. And they signed like all this paperwork for me to like get my mortgage on my house and everything, essentially like saying that I was gonna, be able to keep my job and everything. And so like they were awesome, and I really loved the industry. I thought it was cool. I understood like pricing, I understood how everything worked, but I never worked in the field. So I literally knew nothing about how the day-to-day operated. And when I moved back, there was no real presence for it around here. So I just decided to go for it one day. I literally took a 0% down loan on a truck through my credit union. I put a $1,700 garden trailer on a credit card, and I was off to the races.
you put a wig on a pig and you made it happen.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
boy, that's what I'm talking about. Get a donkey. Yeehaw.
How many years ago was this?
So this was 2019. It was like almost a like year to the day before COVID hit. So it was like March 29th or something, 2019. And
Burp.
it was pretty crazy then. COVID hit, and whatever, dude. Like, Facebook has been my thing. So I
Let
was
me
like,
hold on. Let's slow down because I want to. I got to hear everything. So you just start your own company and COVID hits. Now you're in PA and all that. Now you just put the money down. You took out a loan. Were you shitting your pants?
no, because so when I started, it was a year before COVID hit. So for the first 9 months that the business was operating, I had a job. I had gotten this regional sales manager position where I was in charge of a bunch of people, and I didn't really have to do anything. So it was like a really decent salary. Shout out to Bathfitter. Anyway, I would literally leave my company car at a mall all day because they had kiosks at the malls, and I was technically in charge of the people who ran the kiosks and then all of their events. So I would leave my car there all day and then get in my truck and go do stuff. And then if any of my supervisors would ask me what was going on, I'd be like, I was monitoring the booth to see how many people walked by, to see what type of, like, give them the most BS answer. Well, that lasted for about 9 months, and then I got fired. But by that point, I had enough of a business going at that point that it wasn't a big deal. And I was blessed to make connections. Like, people make connections. That's what Facebook is all about. It's about connecting with people. And I was able to meet this guy who owns a line company who runs like fiber optic lines. They do telephone pole anchors and shit. And when COVID hit and it went crazy, he had this contract to lay all these telephone pole anchors. And all you got to do is use an auger and put them in the ground. So he was paying me and one of my guys like $2,000 a day to do these telephone pole anchors for like, it was like 4 months straight.
So you were laying pipe.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, okay. I'm just getting that out there. If you were laying pipe, you were laying pipe. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just
well,
saying.
technically, whatever. But yeah, it was. It's just so I realized Facebook was as good of an opportunity as it was when I only had 700 followers for my company, and I had about the same amount of friends. And there's this woman who I can't stand. I can't stand her. And I looked at her Facebook, and I'm like, this bitch doesn't have 5,000 friends. There ain't no fuck. Wait a second. Do you know who else has 5,000 friends? This motherfucker. So I went on and I started looking at everybody, people you may know in your area. Okay. Friend request, friend request, friend request. And I'm telling you,
Stalker mode.
hey,
I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding.
business promotion. Okay. And like occasionally, I mean, like 1 out of every 200 people, they will send you a message and be like, do I know you? And I would just simply say, no, I don't know you, but I am promoting my business on the page. I saw that you were local, so I thought maybe you'd want to, learn more about it. And that's all I would say. But within a couple weeks, now you wait a few days and then you invite them to your page. Well, within probably like a month, I was up to the 5,000 and my business page was up to 2,700 followers. And then from there, it was just, okay, well, what's going on in these local pages? So like most of my business has revolved around referrals from different local pages. And it isn't because I post in these groups really anymore. It's just because now everybody knows me for different reasons. Like tomorrow morning, I have to wake up at 5:15 a.m. to go down to my 2,600 square foot garage to do our community garage sale.
Hold on, we don't want to get into that yet. It's too much because there's so much stuff that I want to really break in with you first, bro. So first off, I want people to understand why we're focusing on Facebook with you, and why you stand out to me on there. I think it was last month you posted your numbers, what you did in 28 days. What was the amount of views you got on your Facebook?
Like 2.2 million. So I average like between 700 and 1.3 million every 28 days. That's pretty normal for my page. The reason it was so big was because that one reel that I posted that everyone fucking freaked out on me about, which was just I was pissed. I was hangry, to be honest. I didn't stop for lunch. And I'm in line and I drew the worst draw of the world, which was 5 hand unloaders in a row in front of me at the transfer station. And at this particular transfer station, they don't have a separate line for the handies.
Is that what you call them, Andes?
Yeah. And for us,
Hey, there's a new word.
There's this video, bro. I don't think I seen this one. What happened? What'd you do?
Oh, all I did was just my monotone, annoying voice that I have. I was just like hand unload, and I just said it for I pointed to the 5 trucks, and I said I'm literally in my own worst hell, and it got 1.4 million views, and I got trolled, man. There was like over 1,000 comments for sure. And I would say like 800 of them thought that I was making fun of people who hand unload, which I wasn't. I was just pissed that I was waiting. You know what I mean? Like, shout out if you hand unload for 5 or 6 or 12 months until you can actually get, whatever. But the thing that pissed me off was there was literally like 100 am I allowed to say the hard R word on here? I don't know. I'll probably get canceled. Anyway, retards that literally argued that they could hand unload faster than I could dump my trailer. They're like, "Oh, go get my thing unloaded before you get your tarp off." I'm like, bro, no, you can't. So there was so many people, dude. Anyway, it was like there was some guy who went on my business page and started commenting on shit because of the reel. Like he trolled my page, and he started commenting on shit. And dude, people don't play around here. Like I didn't even have to say anything. There was like people that were following my page were like, like fuck off, you don't know Adam, like blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, I'm not even gonna touch this one. I'm gonna let this guy deleted his comment then, like it's cool.
Let me ask you this, man. So, is it equal in money? Are you bringing in new clients from the Facebook, or is it
Oh
more
yeah,
of,
dude.
yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's where I get pretty much all my business. I mean, it's all referral based at this point, but like pretty much everything starts and ends with Facebook with me, truthfully. Like I'd have never paid for any type of Google ads. I don't do any SEO. Like I do have a GMB, and like I did order some tap cards from Russ, so I'm pretty excited to get those because I will try and I have like 49 reviews on Google. I've never tried. I have over 200 on Facebook. And the thing that gets me with these community groups, and like the thing that people don't understand, is it you have to be okay with delayed gratification. Okay, it isn't about the cheap son of a bitch who's posting in that group asking for who can pick up my couch. They're going to go for the lowest bidder. This is not what you're not, that is not your customer. Okay, but when you develop a small army of people who literally verbally accost people with your name when they ask about junk removal, and there's 8 or 9 comments that go, Adam Hummel, Grady Holloway, don't use anyone else. He's the best, blah, 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 blah. What that does is then any of the actual customers you want to use, the ones who like don't care what they charge and like plan ahead, they go, man, this, I don't need junk removal right now, but when I do, they make a mental note. And then guess what? They don't make a post. So that bottom feeder who messaged that person who made the initial post and offered to do it for $20 and some Skittles doesn't find this person who hits me up. And then I get a great customer for life because I show up on time, which, good fucking Lord, show up on time, people.
So,
People's
so,
time is valuable.
so are you doing all this all by yourself alone, just a truck and trailer, or?
So I have 2 trucks. I have 5 dump trailers, an enclosed trailer. All my dump trailers are the same size. They all hold 10 cubic yards. I have a guy who I trained for a little bit, who I sub a good bit of work to. I have another guy who owns a landscaping business locally, who I worked out an hourly rate for his guys. So whenever
Nice.
I need people, I literally message him the day before and he'll drop
Oh,
off 2, 3 guys for me and then pick them up. I do pay for these guys. Like I pay works out to,
Sorry.
it works out to like $30 an hour or
don't
so,
worry, you're still
roughly
there. Uh-huh.
30, 35. But by doing that, it's essentially using a temp agency. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't have to worry about payroll tax. I don't have to worry about workers' comp because they're not my guys.
So are any of them using your trailers?
Um, the one guy I sub some work to does pull some of my trailers, but no
Okay.
one else does.
Because we all know the trust with the truck and trailer is very
Yeah,
hard
this
to
guy I
those.
trust.
Yeah,
This
those.
guy I trust. He's like so mechanically inclined, and he's helped
Yeah,
me do so many things that, I mean, even if he did wreck one of my trailers, like,
he can fix it, no problem. He can take care of it. Yeah,
yeah, I
'cause
would
that's the
take it.
biggest thing with the truck and trailer crew is that people are hard to trust with the
Well,
trailer
my next move is definitely a dump truck for sure. Probably like an F-350 or 450, something like that,
or
with like
king cab.
a mulch
Uh-huh.
style box.
Mm-hmm. So
Um,
you don't want to go with Suzu.
well, so I can't. The thing is the reason that I choose what I choose is because I don't like the DOT. I don't want to deal with the DOT. So my
Okay.
dump trailers are all 7K rated, so that
Yeah.
my combination GVWR is under
26.
70,001 in the state
Yeah.
of Pennsylvania. That's what it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So the Isuzus, I could get a 14,500. I could get one of those. I just couldn't get one of the 19,500s, or else I'd
Yeah.
have to get a DOT number, and I just don't want to do that because I like weed way too much. So
Oh, well, there's ways to go. There's ways to go around that, but let me hang them. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I still hold mine.
Reasonator, huh? Adam, I got to ask you this, brother. This is another thing that really stuck out about you and your business. I see that you do, and you were touching on it before. You were talking about tomorrow. You got some going on and all. Kind of fill everybody in how you give back to the community and just some of the engagement that you do. That was very impressive.
yeah,
That I've seen in your.
thanks, man. So for one thing, there's a local nonprofit called Making a Difference of Lebanon, who 3 out of the last 4 years I've won an award for the stuff that I've done for this organization. 2 of the years I won their highest honor, and I beat out like a local bank and someone else. And it's like these organizations have tons of money, and somehow I'm beating them out. And it's like, just give back. It's not that hard. It doesn't have to be money all the time.
Yeah.
Like, so for instance, I do a lot of AC giveaways. How many ACs do you pick up throughout the year? Check them. If they're good, put them on a pile. Once you have 5 or 10, do a post, give away ACs in the spring. People who need them are so thankful, and they never forget that shit.
Oh yeah.
I give away snow shovels in the winter, and I mean, I give away 50, 100 snow shovels.
Yeah.
I do my community garage sales, which I don't price anything. Everything is pay what you can. And then 100% of the money goes to a local nonprofit that I pick. This time, tomorrow, it's going to Friends of Coleman's, which is Coleman's Park, which is a huge park in Lebanon City. It's just, people remember you for the things that you do. Like, just because I don't spend money on like traditional like Google ads, like my time and energy on these community things are kind of similar. You know what I mean? Like, that's my marketing, really.
Yeah, no
It's
doubt.
like,
Adam, are you paying for any ads at all on Facebook or
no,
Boost?
I don't boost anything ever. I don't add anything to any. The only thing I do pay is I pay $300 a month to be a part of this. It's technically a national magazine, but they have local franchises, and it's called Real Producers Magazine. Basically, what they do is they reach out to the top 5% of realtors. So the only realtors that show up to these events all sell 20 plus homes a year. So they're like the ones you want to talk to. They host like between 10 and 14 events a year. They do additional like training. Like next month, I'm going to hang out with this one guy who he gets like millions of views on Instagram, like millions. So hopefully I'll learn how to do some shit. Because it's like, bro, I come up with some of the grossest content you could ever think of. Because I will touch anything. I don't give a shit. Like what?
Today I seen you with your what is it, ants or some sort of bugs?
Oh yeah, yep. But so I posted this video of me emptying this freezer. So this freezer had been off since the year 2000, and the food was all dated 1978 to 84. And I just like roll up my sleeves, no mask in it. Like I put gloves on, you know, but yeah, just pulling the stuff out, reading it, and
Wow, you got a nose. I'll tell you that right now. You got a nose. I seen one of your videos where you had there was some jam on the floor. And I thought that was blood. I was like, oh shit, that's just gonna stink. But it was jam, right? Or jelly?
it was blood.
It was human jam. It was human jam.
Yes. Yeah. So that one was a little upsetting because the customer didn't tell me that was there.
Yeah, they never do. You know?
They literally had something laying on top of it, and we were there to clean out the whole house and rip all the carpets out. So you would think you would let me know that the person who committed suicide and self-checked out
Oh
that it was going to be there,
bro! Whoa!
So
that's crazy, man.
So we got in the comments right now. You know what I mean? A few people are hitting on that. You know what I mean? You look like Rob Dyrdek. Do you ever get that?
I do get that. Yeah, sometimes
Okay.
I get
that. He's got that personality too.
Yeah,
man.
I was kind of seeing that. You know, in your videos, I was seeing that too. A little bit of a ridiculousness and type of situation going on.
So I will be honest with you guys. I am developing a podcast that is not live that will be kind of like ridiculousness. So it's called Hoarders, Treasures, and a Lack of Safety Measures. So
nice.
I like this, man.
Nice.
I like this.